Over the years, when I've talked to different teams of endurance athletes or fire crews or military personnel or scientists at different conferences, there's a strong temptation to draw parallels between one group that you can study all day long and one group that you're barely able to access in some of these field settings. And laboratory scientists do that all the time. They'll develop a well honed, super controlled laboratory based study, and then they'll take those results and they'll just superimpose them uniformly across the wide world of sports. And I am in complete disagreement with that approach because everything that happens in this clear cut, cookie cutter, white coat laboratory environment is reproducible in that environment. But there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to find those same results out in the field setting. So although there is a temptation to compare a wildland firefighter to just your run-of-the-mill average ultra athlete or endurance athlete, there are some parallels that we can draw. There's probably better parallels between the firefighter and the special ops warfighter in terms of the logistics and the mental strain coupled with the uncertainty or the unpredictability of the job, and then also that in the back of your head element of danger. I've always told when I've talked to endurance athletes chronically, it seems like they're mostly cyclists and triathletes. That's a different group to try to tap into. And the one thing they understand is the power of that yellow jersey in that little bike race in France. Only one dude gets to wear that yellow jersey. I always tell firefighters that, hey, all of you leave your day. Everybody gets to wear yellow. It's one person in France that gets that opportunity. And the energy demands on the fire line are similar to what the energy demands are in the tour and during a lot of other ultra sort of work environments. At the same time, the firefighter has to deal with the uncertainty that doesn't just happen uniformly over the day. It becomes exponentially more critical as the day goes on, as the fire behavior ramps up. After they've been out there for 8-10 hours, that's when it's critical that they tap into their experience and they're able to stay safe. 420 on the fire line is way different than 420 in the streets of Seattle in terms of figuring out how to deal with the situation. At the end of the day, it's tempting to draw these parallels and connect the dots and say, oh, firefighters expend up to 5,000, maybe 6,000 calories a day in the tour, or even as an elite endurance athlete training, you're expending 5,000-6,000 calories a day. So they're the same. We should just feed them the same. We should treat them the same. We should put them in the same box. And I would completely disagree with that. Even though the total energy demands you can make parallels with, how they get there, the things they have to go through in a 24-hour period to get to that 5,000 calorie a day number is way different in the fire world than it is in an endurance athlete's area of play. All they have to do is wake up, have some espresso, go for a bike ride, eat a bunch, and then have everything done for them at the end of the day, and they're well taken care of. Fire crews, the difficulties and the boredom and the uncertainty, and then all of a sudden it's ramped up to extreme levels, and the weather and more boredom, and then are we going to go back into camp or are we going to spike out here? And crap, we're going to spike out here. Now we're on our own for food. And that is not the case in the athletic model. It's a babysat model. It is a babysitter model. They're babysitting the natural resources and the fire. These guys are well taken care of. So it's although we try to put comparisons, it's sometimes it's easy to explain to fire crews how hard their job is by using those athletic examples. But they are two very different worlds. Whereas the firefighter is much more like the warfighter in terms of the uncertainty and the hostilities that might crop up at any moment. So drawing those comparisons is kind of fun from an academic perspective, but at the end of the day, I'll argue, debate, fight with any academic that says 5,000 calories is 5,000 calories. It's not the same.